In a land where mist drifts like forgotten dreams and the air carries ancient whispers, wonders lie hidden in plain sight, waiting patiently for those who move slowly enough to notice the magic woven into every fold of the landscape. They emerge through fog, through forest, and through history, calling quietly to anyone who dares to listen, their voices rising softly like echoes of an old world that still breathes beneath the surface of the modern one. Some pulse with the energy of nature's raw heartbeat, as if the earth itself beats beneath them, sending a steady rhythm through stone, soil, and sky for those sensitive enough to feel it. Others stand tall and solitary, guardians of stories that stretch far beyond memory, holding centuries of triumph, sorrow, and quiet resilience in their weathered silhouettes. Many radiate with a peaceful glow, softened by time, yet strengthened by meaning, offering a kind of serenity that settles into your bones the longer you stay. These are the places that reveal themselves slowly, almost shyly, like old souls hesitant to speak but incapable of hiding their truth once you truly see them. They draw you in without force, asking only that you pay attention, that you listen closely to the subtle details most travelers rush past. Look closely enough and you'll notice how each breeze carries a fragment of a story, stitching together the past and present with threads too delicate to grasp unless your heart is open. Let your curiosity wander, and you might feel the faint outline of something extraordinary, a presence that seems to rise from the land itself and brush gently against your imagination. They are wonders not because they shout their greatness, but because they whisper it, allowing their beauty to unfold quietly, layer by layer, like a secret entrusted only to those who care. They're places where travelers lose track of hours, yet never forget the feeling, a rare kind of awe that lingers long after the journey ends. They're spaces where mystery blends with beauty, forming something uniquely Canadian, shaped by vast wilderness, deep-rooted culture, and landscapes that shift with every season. Step gently, breathe deeply, and let the land reveal itself, for it speaks in a language older than words. Every moment here feels like an invitation to discover more, to wander further, to understand something about the world and yourself. This is Wonder of Canada, a cinematic journey through the country's icons, a tribute to the quiet marvels that define a land both ancient and endlessly alive. Niagara Falls, Ontario. When you first hear the distant rumble of Niagara Falls, the low thunder rolling across the horizon feels like an irresistible invitation from nature itself, calling you forward to witness a place where surging water and boundless sky seem to blend seamlessly into one everlasting motion. Long before modern cities rose around its edges, and before any road or bridge ever scarred the landscape, the falls were sculpted over thousands of years by massive retreating glaciers whose melting forces carved the Niagara River into this breathtaking corridor of unstoppable natural energy. Nestled with timeless elegance between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, this monumental wonder sits exactly on an international border, yet somehow feels as though it belongs to every traveler who has ever been moved by its raw, transcendent beauty. As the Horseshoe Falls bend into their dramatic, sweeping arc, millions of gallons of water pour over the cliffside in a shimmering cascade of silver, white, and pale blue, creating an endless curtain that looks almost too perfect to be real. The mist rises in soft, swirling waves, drifting upward until it brushes gently against your skin, like a cool whisper from the river's ancient, icy origins, reminding you of the power hidden beneath the calm exterior. Local stories passed down through generations speak of invisible spirits said to dwell deep within the swirling fog. Guardians of the powerful waters that have watched over countless lifetimes and shaped the destiny of the region. Indigenous legends describe the mighty thunder god who gifted the falls their everlasting, booming voice, a voice that still echoes through every trembling stone and every vibrating surface surrounding this colossal force of nature. Birds glide effortlessly through the mist-filled air, navigating the unpredictable winds with a calm, almost mystical grace, as though the environment itself has taught them secrets unknown to the rest of the world. The cliffs lining the river offer spectacular vantage points where visitors often stand motionless, torn between capturing the view on camera or simply surrendering to the overwhelming sensation of being part of something far greater than themselves. Modern walkways, engineered platforms, and viewing decks frame the spectacle without diminishing its wildness, creating a beautiful contrast between human craftsmanship and the untamed grandeur of one of Earth's greatest natural wonders. Many travelers confess they feel an unexpected wave of emotion as they approach the edge. Not a feeling of fear, but a profound and humbling awareness of nature's sheer scale and timeless presence. When the sun begins to lower, the falls transform into a luminous masterpiece as warm golden light settles on the cascading water, painting it with gentle, shimmering strokes that ripple like molten glass. At just the right angle, tiny rainbows appear briefly within the drifting mist, forming delicate arcs of color that vanish almost instantly, reminding you how fleeting and magical these moments can be. Beneath the roaring curtain of water lie hidden caverns where deep echoes of thunder bounce off ancient stone walls, sending gentle vibrations through the ground and into the soles of your feet. These mysterious caverns have fueled countless tales of exploration and adventure, so much so that they've earned a mythic reputation among storytellers and curious wanderers alike. The town surrounding Niagara offers cozy cafes, quaint shops, and peaceful corners where visitors can rest, reflect, and let the magnitude of what they've witnessed settle slowly into memory. Old tales from early settlers speak of the falls possessing extraordinary healing properties, drawing people from faraway places who believed a single visit could restore their spirits or bring clarity to their lives. Other accounts recall daring individuals who willingly hurled themselves toward the roaring edge in barrels, boats, or makeshift contraptions, chasing a form of immortality through impossible feats of bravery. But some of the most powerful stories come from ordinary travelers who simply stood before the rushing water and felt something quiet but undeniable shift within them, as though the falls had spoken directly to their soul. As darkness settles, a brilliant illumination show begins, cloaking the falls in radiant blues, reds, purples, and greens that ripple like living jewels across the cascading water. The sound of the water softens as you move farther away, turning from a booming chorus into a soothing, rhythmic hum that follows you gently through the nearby streets and pathways. Regular visitors often say that no two trips ever feel the same, as if the falls themselves adapt their mood, sometimes fierce, sometimes gentle, with each changing season and shifting sky. Photographers flock here year-round, captivated by the constantly evolving textures, reflections, and shadows that dance across the water's surface. CN Tower, Ontario. Approaching the CN Tower feels like walking toward a quiet, gentle giant, one that has silently observed Toronto evolve through decades of ambition, reinvention, and cultural blooming, watching the city grow, shift, and flourish for nearly half a century with the patience of an ancient sentinel. Standing proudly along the harbor front, where the city meets the shimmering blue expanse of Lake Ontario, the tower rises like a luminous beacon that effortlessly guides travelers and dreamers toward the beating heart of the province. Built in 1976 from a bold vision meant to solve critical communication challenges, the tower transcended its original purpose, becoming an iconic symbol whose destiny stretched far beyond what its creators ever imagined. The soft curvature of its massive concrete base gives it a sculptural elegance, an almost organic form that contrasts beautifully with the sharp, modern lines and reflective glass walls that dominate the cityscape around it. As you ascend in the glass elevator, the city of Toronto slowly unfurls beneath you like a vibrant mosaic, alive with color, texture, and motion, revealing layers of life that stretch outward in every direction. The observation deck greets visitors with sweeping, panoramic views that reach toward the horizon, where sky and water merge into a seamless, calming blur of blues and silvers. On misty mornings, the tower appears to rise above drifting clouds, transforming into something dreamlike, a surreal silhouette suspended softly in the sky as if floating between worlds. The famous glass floor creates a thrilling sense of weightlessness, giving you the uncanny feeling that the entire city has transformed into a delicate, glowing map resting gently beneath your feet. When the wind brushes against the tower's massive frame, barely perceptible vibrations travel upward, creating a subtle, almost meditative hum that adds another layer to the experience of standing so high above the world. Stories have long circulated among nighttime technicians who claim they heard faint melodic echoes reverberating inside the structure, as if the tower itself sings quiet lullabies when no one else is awake to listen. The 360 restaurant offers a slow, poetic rotation that allows diners to savor both culinary artistry and the ever-changing visual tapestry of the city, turning each meal into a graceful dance above the skyline. On certain evenings, the calm waters of the lake perfectly mirror the tower's illuminated silhouette, creating a shimmering watercolor reflection that looks as though the city is painting itself across the water. In winter, swirling snow drifts around the tower in delicate spirals, turning it into a silent guardian that stands watch over a peaceful, frost-covered Toronto. Wildlife from the nearby parks Curious birds, small mammals, and wandering geese often gather near the base, captivated by the enormous structure that rises above them like a mountain carved by human hands. Some visitors claim the tower radiates a calming, almost spiritual aura, especially at dusk when the fading daylight turns the sky, lavender and the first city lights begin to twinkle awake. When light rain taps gently against the viewing windows, it creates hundreds of tiny prisms that refract the vibrant city lights into softened, dreamlike streaks of color. Standing at the very top, you can trace Toronto's patchwork of neighborhoods as they unfold in the distance, like chapters in a quiet, beautifully illustrated storybook. Often used as a citywide canvas, the tower lights up with vivid displays tied to holidays, celebrations, cultural festivals, and moments of collective remembrance, speaking to millions without uttering a single word. Each lighting pattern feels like an unspoken message, expressed through color rather than voice, carrying meaning that echoes across the skyline. The elevator ride back down becomes a final, introspective moment where the world slowly rises to meet you, grounding you again after an experience that feels almost otherworldly. Visitors frequently describe the journey as both serene and exhilarating, a rare combination of peaceful elevation and awe-inspiring perspective that leaves a lasting emotional imprint. The historical panels displayed within the tower offer intimate glimpses into the hardships and triumphs of its construction, honoring the workers who braved dizzying heights and harsh weather to bring this monumental structure to life. Many travelers choose to return again and again because the tower never looks or feels quite the same. Every season, every sky, and every hour paints it with a fresh personality. A gentle travel tip is to visit during a weekday morning when the lines are shorter, the atmosphere calmer, and the city below feels almost like a private moment meant only for you. From its powerful base to its soaring pinnacle, the CN Tower rises not merely as a landmark of engineering, but as a graceful storyteller woven into Toronto's skyline, narrating decades of history, culture, and wonder to all who approach it. Old Quebec, Quebec. Old Quebec may look charming by day, but beneath its picture-perfect streets and postcard facades lies an older, darker world woven from legends, buried secrets, and whispered stories that have quietly survived the passage of centuries. Built on an ancient strategic site overlooking the powerful St. Lawrence River, the towering cliffs once witnessed fierce battles, tense standoffs, and silent negotiations between rival empires fighting for control of the North. The massive stone walls that encircle the old city seem to hold memories within their cracks, releasing them only when the night grows still and the wind carries echoes from generations long gone. Some locals say the old cannons perched along the ramparts still rumble with faint booms during stormy evenings, as though reenacting long-forgotten conflicts despite not being fired for over a century. Chateau Frontenac rises above the old quarter like a watchful sentinel, its dimly glowing windows giving the unsettling impression that something inside is quietly observing the streets below. Guests wandering through its carpeted hallways have described strange sensations: cold brushes of air, soft taps on their shoulders, or the distinct impression that unseen figures are moving past them. In the shadowy, narrow lanes of Petit Champlain, residents whisper about footsteps that follow people at night, even when the cobblestones behind them remain completely empty. Certain stairways, especially the steep and historical breakneck steps, are rumored to send a sudden chill down the spine of anyone climbing alone, as if the ghosts of past travelers are still ascending beside them. Place Royale, peaceful and warm under daylight, is said to transform after dusk, when the echoes of ancient marketplaces and long-lost gatherings seem to drift back into the square. Some winding alleyways carry inexplicable cold drafts even during the height of summer, a phenomenon locals attribute to spirits lingering from the colonial era. The old churches scattered throughout the district hold their own mysteries, tales of lost manuscripts, forgotten rituals, and soft, unexplained lights flickering in stained glass windows well past midnight. The basilica's bells have been known to produce faint, trembling vibrations on perfectly quiet nights, even when no official ringing is scheduled and no hands are near the ropes. Along the fortified ramparts, late-night security guards have reported seeing dark, shadowy silhouettes pacing slowly back and forth, vanishing without a trace the moment anyone approaches. Paranormal investigators flock to the area because of frequent reports of glowing orbs drifting near historic buildings, captured in photographs with no explanation behind their sudden appearance. By the river's edge, travelers have described hearing soft whispers in Old French, gentle, ghostly voices carried by a wind that feels far older than the city itself. In the deep cold of winter, fog rolling off the river blankets the old streets in a ghostly veil, transforming familiar shapes into warped silhouettes and making ordinary sounds echo strangely through the night. Frozen lantern light reflects sharply against the snow, producing eerie moving shadows that shift and glide as though they possess a life of their own. The funicular, which climbs the steep cliffside, has occasionally recorded unexplained weight changes inside its cabin, even when no passengers were present. Tour guides often recount tales of colonial soldiers who are said to continue their long-forgotten patrols, walking invisible paths through old Quebec as if their duty never ended. At the chateau's front desk, staff have quietly noted mysterious calls coming from rooms that are completely unoccupied and, in several cases, locked for months at a time. Hidden tunnels deep beneath Old Quebec are believed to connect long-abandoned military posts, their entrances sealed yet still humming with the remnants of forgotten activity. Some daring explorers claim they have heard soft humming or rhythmic tapping in underground passages that no one has legally entered in decades, leaving theories swirling but unanswered. Even bustling restaurants hold their own stories, glasses sliding across tables without being touched, chairs shifting slightly as if someone invisible is choosing a seat. A thrilling travel tip is to join one of the nighttime ghost tours, where the dim lantern light and quiet backstreets reveal a far darker, more mysterious version of the city that daytime visitors never truly see. Old Quebec's beauty is undeniable, but it is the allure of its whispered legends and lingering mysteries that pulls travelers back again and again, each hoping to uncover answers that the city may never fully reveal. Stanley Park, British Columbia. Stanley Park stands as one of Vancouver's most spectacular urban escapes, a living masterpiece where rich history merges seamlessly with breathtaking natural beauty across its vast 1,000-acre landscape that feels more like a wild sanctuary than a city park. Located only minutes from the bustling downtown core, This iconic green haven offers visitors an immediate transition into a world filled with forest trails, rugged stretches of coastline, and panoramic lookouts that seem to open endlessly toward the horizon. Established in 1888, the park preserves ancient pockets of rainforest, towering trees and dense undergrowth that existed long before the city was ever imagined, making it a rare and precious jewel among global urban spaces. The world-famous seawall, stretching nearly 10 kilometers around the peninsula, attracts cyclists, runners, walkers, and dreamers from every corner of the world who come seeking fresh ocean air and cinematic coastal views. Its sweeping oceanfront scenery includes passing ships drifting gracefully along the water, shimmering waves reflecting the sky above, and distant mountain silhouettes framing the coastline with dramatic beauty. Bikers especially love circling the entire seawall, enjoying a scenic workout where every curve reveals a fresh view, each one made even better by the invigorating scent of salt water. Wildlife thrives throughout the park, from playful sea otters rolling in the surf to elegant herons stalking along the shoreline and curious raccoons that boldly approach visitors with endearing confidence. The totem poles at Brockton Point stand tall and proud, serving as powerful cultural landmarks that highlight the deep and enduring indigenous heritage woven into the region's identity. Each intricately carved figure tells a symbolic story of lineage, tradition, mythology, and survival, offering travelers a compelling glimpse into the history and artistry of First Nations peoples. The Vancouver Aquarium, nestled within the park's forested heart, opens a window into marine ecosystems, allowing visitors to encounter mesmerizing jellyfish, charismatic sea otters, and majestic sea lions up close. Lost Lagoon provides a peaceful, reflective retreat where birdwatchers and nature lovers gather to observe swans, ducks, and a wide variety of local species moving gracefully across the water. Forest trails wind deep into stands of massive cedar, fir, and hemlock trees, creating an enveloping quiet that makes hikers feel as though they've stepped into an untouched, ancient wilderness far removed from city noise. Children adore the playgrounds, swimming pools, and sprawling open fields that turn the park into an ideal destination for families seeking outdoor fun. During summer, the sandy beaches along the park's edges welcome sunbathers, swimmers, kayakers, and paddleboarders who gather to enjoy warm weather with views that stretch across English Bay. Prospect Point stands as one of the park's most stunning lookouts, offering clear, jaw-dropping views of the Lions Gate Bridge, the open ocean, and the distant mountain ranges beyond. The Stanley Park train provides delightful rides for families, adding an extra layer of magic during seasonal events like Halloween ghost trains and sparkling holiday light displays. Photographers find themselves endlessly inspired here, capturing dramatic intersections of forest, ocean, wildlife, and the distant city skyline blending into one perfect panorama. Food stands, snack kiosks, and cozy cafes scattered throughout the park offer welcome refreshments for explorers who need to refuel during their adventures. Many visitors end up spending the entire day wandering, cycling, lounging, or exploring without even realizing how quickly time has slipped away. Seasonal events, from vibrant cultural celebrations to twinkling winter light festivals, bring extra excitement and seasonal charm to Stanley Park throughout the year. Joggers appreciate the smooth, well-maintained paths that make morning runs refreshing, scenic, and deeply motivating as the sun rises over the water. Garden areas such as the Rose Garden and the Ted and Mary Gregg Rhododendron Garden burst into color during spring and summer, adding fragrant pockets of beauty to the park's diverse landscape. Stanley Park's remarkable accessibility by foot, bike, car, or transit makes it one of Vancouver's most welcoming and easy-to-explore must-visit attractions. A highly recommended travel tip is to rent a bike and explore the seawall at sunset, when the warm golden light transforms the ocean, mountains, and towering trees into an unforgettable cinematic spectacle. Whether you come seeking adventure, serenity, culture, natural beauty, or simply a breath of fresh ocean air, Stanley Park delivers an unforgettable experience that showcases the very best of British Columbia. Banff, Alberta. Banff may be known for its dazzling, world-famous beauty, but beneath its postcard-perfect scenery lies a subtle yet undeniable air of mystery that has captivated explorers, locals, and curious travelers for decades, and perhaps for centuries before them. The Canadian Rockies surrounding Banff rise with an ancient authority, their jagged peaks carved by forces so immense and timeless that they almost appear supernatural in scale, as though shaped by hands older than the earth itself. As fog drifts slowly through the valleys at dawn, spreading like a living veil between the mountains, the peaks seem to whisper secrets that only the wandering wind can understand, carrying echoes of ages long past. Some hikers report hearing strange echoes in narrow canyons, where their own voices return distorted, deeper, slower, and eerily altered, as if something in the stone is speaking back in an unfamiliar tone. Lake Louise, with its calm emerald surface, holds a stillness so profound that many visitors feel watched, sensing the lake is reflecting not just the landscape, but also quietly observing those who stand beside it. Old stories claim that indigenous spirits still guard these sacred waters, appearing as shimmering silhouettes drifting across the foggy shoreline when dawn first breaks. Moraine Lake's vivid, impossible shade of blue often looks otherworldly, fueling legends that the water carries traces of ancient mountain magic drawn from the very heart of the Rockies. Deep in the shadowed forests, travelers have reported sudden drops in temperature, even on warm summer days, as if something unseen has moved past them, brushing the air with its cold presence. The wildlife here behaves in ways that can feel unsettling, with elk standing perfectly still and staring silently at passers-by far longer than seems natural, as though studying them with quiet intelligence. On windy nights, the mountains release low, resonant hums that drift between the peaks, sounding like distant chants rising from somewhere deep within the rock itself. The Banff Springs Hotel, grand and iconic, carries its own legacy of ghost stories, including the famous tale of the Phantom Bride said to glide down its opulent staircases in a whisper of silk and sorrow. Some staff members quietly admit to hearing soft footsteps echoing through empty hallways, footsteps that abruptly fall silent whenever someone tries to follow them. The valley surrounding the hotel often fills with mist thick enough to obscure vision entirely, creating drifting shapes that move like shifting shadows before dissolving into the air. The Bow River, winding gracefully through the region, is known for producing strange reflective distortions when moonlight hits at certain angles, warping silhouettes in ways that defy logic. Hidden far from the main trails, old mining paths snake through the forest, remnants of long-abandoned settlements where workers vanished mysteriously during brutal winters, leaving only fragments of their presence behind. Indigenous legends speak of powerful guardian spirits residing in the mountains, watching over the land and protecting it from disturbances that disrupt the ancient balance. Some late-night hikers swear they've glimpsed pairs of glowing eyes watching from the treetops, eyes that blink once and then disappear into absolute darkness without a sound. Frozen lakes emit deep, haunting, cracking sounds that echo across the valleys, resonant calls that seem almost alive, as though the ice is communicating from beneath its frozen surface. During heavy snowfall, the outlines of the mountains turn ghostly and blurred, transforming the entire landscape into what feels like a dreamscape, where reality and illusion merge. Locals tell stories of travelers who wandered off trail during snowstorms only to return shaken, claiming they heard distant voices, soft, guiding whispers that led them safely back without reason. The ancient forests, dense and unmoving, hold an atmosphere of memory, as if they still remember a world that existed long before humans ever set foot in these valleys. When storms roll through the mountains, thunder doesn't just echo, it rumbles with such immense power that it feels like something colossal is awakening from a deep, primordial slumber. A thrilling travel tip is to take a nighttime walk near the Beaufalls viewpoint, where the rushing water, shifting shadows, and soft lunar glow combine to create an unforgettable, almost otherworldly atmosphere. Banff's beauty may draw you in at first glance, but it is the lingering mysteries, those subtle, haunting echoes carried through the mountains, that stay with you long after you leave. whispering in memory like a story unfinished. Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia. They say you can hear Peggy's Cove before you ever lay eyes on it, a low, rumbling murmur rising steadily from the Atlantic, sounding almost like a deep, ancient voice calling from beneath the waves, urging you to listen before you arrive. As you get closer, the wind sweeps across the landscape in shifting currents, carrying faint whispers that make you wonder whether the land itself is trying to share a story older than memory, older than time. When the jagged coastline finally emerges into view, it appears raw, untamed, and astonishingly powerful, sculpted by relentless centuries of storms that have carved their cryptic signatures across the ancient granite. The lighthouse stands utterly alone upon the rocks, its stark silhouette cut sharply against the restless sky like a solitary guardian protecting 1,000 forgotten tales. Built in 1915 and weathered by more storms than any living person could recount, the tower has survived violent waves and punishing winds that would have shattered lesser structures into scattered debris. Many locals swear the lighthouse possesses a soul of its own, claiming its beam flickers in strange, deliberate rhythms during stormy nights, as though communicating with the sea. The rocks below hold secrets etched into their smooth surfaces, shaped into uncanny patterns resembling massive footprints or eroded monuments crafted by an ancient hand. When fog blankets Peggy's Cove, the world narrows to soft outlines and drifting shadows that move with an unsettling fluidity, as if the mist itself were alive. Fishermen navigating through the dense haze often claim to hear distant voices rising from the cliffs, echoing faintly through the shifting gray. Some say these whispers belong to Peggy herself, the legendary shipwreck survivor whose restless spirit is said to wander the rugged coastline in eternal search of something lost. Others insist it is the sea speaking, a warning murmured in its deep, unpredictable language to those who dare approach its edge. The fishing village may look modest and tranquil at first glance, yet behind its peaceful facade lies centuries of maritime history filled with tragedy, resilience, heartbreak, and remarkable survival. Old boats rest quietly along the harbor, their peeling paint and time-worn wood revealing stories of countless journeys through storms fierce enough to test even the bravest sailors. The tide pools hide strange patterns drawn into the sand, swirl, lines, and shapes that mysteriously shift or disappear overnight, leaving locals puzzled even after generations of observation. Gulls circle above the granite boulders in unnervingly perfect unison, moving as though obeying some invisible command issued by the wind or the sea. At night, the lighthouse beam sweeps methodically across the darkened ocean, rotating like a searching eye trying to recover something irreplaceable that the sea has long buried. The crashing waves slam into the granite with such raw force that the vibrations travel straight into your chest, echoing like the heartbeat of the Atlantic itself. Lantern light flickering from distant cottage windows casts warm, yet eerie glows across the rocks, blending coziness with a strange sense of foreboding. Some travelers swear the cove feels different at dusk, as though the past drifts closer to the surface when the sun begins to vanish behind the horizon. Old photographs displayed in local shops show ghostly silhouettes standing near the lighthouse, shadowy figures that appear in the images with no known explanation. Even the wind behaves unpredictably, shifting directions suddenly and slipping between the rocks with the quick, restless energy of a wandering spirit. The ocean reveals its moods through dramatic shifts in color, transforming from gentle sapphire to fierce, unsettling charcoal in mere minutes, reflecting emotions only nature could possess. Winter storms roar across the cove with such intensity that every other sound is swallowed whole, leaving only the thunderous pulse of the sea. A thrilling travel tip is to explore the cove at dawn, when thick fog drifts across the granite and the world feels suspended halfway between reality and myth, offering a glimpse into its haunting beauty. Peggy's Cove is more than a destination. It is a realm where beauty intertwines with mystery, where every wave guards a secret, and where each whisper of wind hints at stories still waiting to be discovered. Jasper National Park, Alberta. Long before the mountains even begin to peek over the horizon, Jasper greets you with a silence so pure and immeasurably deep that it feels as though the air itself is holding its breath, quietly preparing you for something extraordinary that lies ahead. As the winding road carries you deeper into the heart of the Canadian Rockies, the peaks slowly emerge one by one, rising around you like colossal stone guardians, awakening from centuries of silent, timeless slumber. Jasper National Park, stretching across more than 11,000 square kilometers of untouched wilderness, stands as the largest national park in the Rockies, a sanctuary where nature dominates every horizon and human presence becomes a gentle whisper. The Athabasca River snakes gracefully through the wide valleys, flowing like a gleaming silver ribbon carrying ancient glacial waters that flicker and sparkle beneath the shifting mountain sun. Elk graze with calm indifference beside the roadside, their peaceful movements untouched by the presence of travelers who stop in awe to admire their quiet, grounded majesty. The massive glaciers of the Columbia Icefield tower above the landscape, immense frozen giants whose ancient ice holds stories older than civilizations and older than any recorded human memory. When sunlight strikes the glacier's surface, delicate blue tones emerge from within the ice, soft, mysterious hues so surreal they seem borrowed from another world entirely. The Athabasca Glacier stretches outward like a long, frozen tongue flowing from the icefield, compelling adventurers to step onto one of Earth's final remaining ancient ice bodies. At Maligne Lake, the water shines with a haunting turquoise glow, its glassy stillness so perfect that entire mountain ranges reflect across it with mirror-like clarity. Spirit Island rests quietly at the center of the lake, often wrapped in ethereal morning mist that gives it an almost mythical presence, as though it exists slightly outside the boundaries of time. Local stories say this sacred place was once believed to be a meeting point where the world of nature and the world of spirits touch gently, forming a bond that still lingers in the air. Wildlife flourishes across the park, bears roaming the valleys, mountain goats clinging to cliffs, moose wading through marshes, and wolves navigating the wilderness with a confidence born from centuries of survival. The forests are thick with towering evergreens, their resin-scented fragrance drifting through the valleys on crisp alpine winds that feel clean enough to reset your entire being. The roar of distant waterfalls echoes through the canyons at Maligne Canyon, where swirling waters carve dramatic, twisting pathways into ancient rock that has endured the weight of time. Evenings paint the mountains in deep orange and molten gold, casting long, dramatic shadows that stretch slowly across the valley floor like moving silhouettes. When night falls, Jasper transforms into one of the planet's greatest dark sky preserves, unveiling a night sky so rich, so vivid, and so impossibly vast that it overwhelms every sense you have. The Milky Way pours across the heavens like a luminous river, accompanied by shooting stars that streak silently overhead in flashes of delicate brilliance. Locals sometimes say the silence of night in Jasper feels alive, as if the mountains themselves continue breathing softly in the darkness, long after the last light has faded. In winter, thick blankets of snow wrap the park in a profound stillness, turning every peak, trail, and forest into a landscape worthy of a sweeping winter epic. The frozen lakes transform into vast white plains where faint cracking sounds ripple beneath the ice, creating haunting echoes that pulse across the valley. Warm amber glows from alpine lodges reflect gently onto the snow, offering a sanctuary of comfort amid the sharp, exhilarating mountain cold. Summer brings wildflowers bursting through the meadows in brilliant shades of purple, yellow, and pink, attracting hummingbirds and butterflies that shimmer like floating pieces of light. Adventurers flock to Jasper for hiking, canoeing, stargazing, wildlife encounters, and moments that feel straight out of a nature documentary filmed in real time. A deeply rewarding travel tip is to visit Moline Lake at sunrise, when pale fog dances across the surface and the mountains rise in the still water like a flawless, painted reflection. Jasper National Park is not just a destination you visit. It is a place that reaches inward, reshapes your perspective, and leaves behind a sense of awe that follows you long after you've returned home. Tofino, British Columbia. The journey to Tofino begins with a mesmerizing sequence of shifting landscapes, towering mountains, dense emerald forests, and long winding coastal roads that gradually guide you closer to one of British Columbia's most refined and effortlessly elegant coastal escapes. Long before the shoreline appears, the scent of fresh ocean air drifts inland like a luxurious welcome, carrying hints of salt, cedar, and distant tides that signal your arrival into a different, more peaceful pace of living. Located at the far western edge of Vancouver Island, Tofino stands as a destination where premium travel seamlessly blends with untouched wilderness, offering a rare balance of sophistication and raw natural beauty. The iconic Long Beach stretches for miles along the coastline, its pristine sands and rolling waves forming an extraordinary canvas ideal for surfing, serene strolls, and world-class photography sessions. Pacific Rim National Park Reserve surrounds Tofino with protected rainforests, driftwood-strewn beaches, and flourishing ecosystems that maintain the region's sense of serenity and ecological purity. Upscale resorts and boutique lodges dot the shoreline, each offering sweeping panoramic views of the Pacific, often paired with indulgent spa treatments inspired by local botanicals and coastal ingredients. Fine dining in Tofino is a true revelation, with chefs crafting menus that highlight impeccably fresh seafood, hand-foraged herbs, and creatively plated dishes that transform local flavors into culinary art. Whale-watching tours depart daily from the harbor, granting travelers close encounters with migrating gray whales, feeding orcas, and breaching humpbacks that rise from the ocean with cinematic force. The Clayoquot Sound UNESCO Biosphere Reserve offers a sanctuary for kayaking through quiet inlets, observing wildlife, and participating in eco-tours that highlight the region's rich biodiversity. Luxury glamping experiences elevate wilderness stays, allowing guests to sleep beneath old-growth rainforest canopies while still enjoying plush amenities and refined comforts. The beaches here are wide, meticulously maintained, and perfect for peaceful sunrise walks where golden light glows across the horizon and the entire coastline feels untouched. Surfers from around the world treasure Tofino for its consistent waves, which deliver both thrilling challenges and meditative moments depending on the tide and season. Tide pools reveal miniature marine worlds, vibrant starfish, anemones, crabs, and iridescent kelp that captivate visitors of all ages with their natural brilliance. The wild Pacific Trail offers dramatic cliffside lookouts and impeccably maintained pathways that showcase the raw power of the Pacific Ocean from unforgettable vantage points. Indigenous culture enriches the region through art installations, historical displays, and storytelling traditions woven into local galleries, adding depth and meaning to the coastal experience. Wellness retreats incorporate yoga sessions, outdoor meditation, and even surf therapy programs designed to harmonize body, mind, and environment in profoundly calming ways. Sunset cruises glide silently across sheltered waters, offering elegant views of rosy, glowing horizons as evening light dissolves gently into the ocean. Many luxury resorts provide private beachfront access, giving travelers a more intimate and personalized connection with the Pacific's shifting moods. Rainforest boardwalks lead guests through tranquil, shaded corridors of ancient trees, creating a quiet escape perfect for slow, reflective exploration. Birdwatchers delight in frequent sightings of soaring eagles, graceful herons, and coastal seabirds that thrive throughout the region's varied habitats. Local markets bring together artisanal crafts, fresh produce, handmade jewelry, and small batch foods that reflect the creativity and craftsmanship of the community. Winter storm, watching packages, draw visitors seeking dramatic ocean views, where massive waves collide with the coastline while guests watch safely from the comfort of luxury suites with roaring fireplaces. Even casual dining options in Tofino impress, offering coastal flavors prepared with remarkable freshness, warmth, and attention to detail. A helpful travel tip is to reserve accommodations well in advance. Tofino's popularity means that rooms often book out months ahead during peak seasons. With its seamless blend of natural splendor, refined experiences, and timeless coastal charm, Tofino stands out as one of Canada's most desirable and unforgettable luxury getaway destinations. Vancouver, British Columbia. It starts subtly, the soft glow of morning light reflecting across the gentle ripples of the harbor, the distant cries of gulls circling overhead, and the low, steady hum of a city where calm and motion coexist in a harmony so natural it feels almost orchestrated. As you move closer, Vancouver begins revealing fragments of itself in delicate layers, quick flashes of ocean blue between buildings, glimpses of mountain silhouettes rising like guardians, and glass towers shimmering like polished crystal catching the first gold of the day. The city greets you with a quiet, understated elegance, as though it fully understands the power of first impressions and chooses to reveal its charm slowly, inviting you to feel it rather than simply see it. The harbor lies peaceful at dawn, its surface trembling slightly as boats drift lazily along the water, each one creating ripples that stretch outward like soft whispers. The scent of crisp sea breeze mixes with the warm aroma of freshly brewed coffee drifting from waterfront cafes, creating an atmosphere that instantly feels comforting and alive. Behind the skyline, the mountains rise in soft, misty silhouettes, forming a natural frame around the city's modern pulse and reminding you that nature here is never far away. Gastown's cobblestone streets feel like stepping into a preserved memory, where vintage lamps glow with amber warmth and the old steam clock marks time with playful puffs of steam that float into the cool air. Every corner of the city reveals its own quiet beauty. Brick walls draped in vibrant ivy, murals splashed with color and imagination, balconies overflowing with flowers that sway gently in the breeze. Vancouver's cultural diversity wraps around you like a warm, gentle embrace, with global influences subtly shaping the flavors, voices, and textures that fill every street. In Stanley Park, sunlight filters through ancient cedar branches like a cascade of golden dust, drifting softly to the forest floor in an endlessly soothing rhythm. The shaded trails invite slow, unhurried steps, each path guiding you deeper into a realm of tranquility where only the soft rustle of leaves breaks the silence. The seawall curves gracefully along the waterfront, offering heartfelt views where ocean, forest, and skyline meet in a seamless blend of natural and urban harmony. English Bay sparkles under the sun, its gentle waves rolling onto the shore with a rhythm so peaceful it feels like the ocean is breathing. Granville Island bursts with playful creativity, its bustling markets overflowing with rich colors, mouth-watering aromas, and the cheerful blend of voices that drift across the docks. Street musicians fill the air with melodies that float lightly over the water, adding a touch of spontaneity to the island's already artistic soul. Boats glide in and out of the harbor, leaving shimmering trails, tiny ripples that glitter like scattered diamonds beneath the afternoon light. Kitsilano Beach radiates inviting warmth, where relaxed laughter blends effortlessly with the ocean breeze and the soft rustle of palm-like grasses. In spring, cherry blossoms unfurl across entire neighborhoods, transforming streets into delicate pink tunnels where petals fall like slow, fragrant snow. Summer nights bring the charm of glowing patios, easy laughter, warm air, and long evening walks where time seems to stretch gently. Autumn covers the parks in layers of warm reds, rustic golds, and burnt oranges, turning the city into a comforting, nostalgic landscape. Winter arrives with soft rain that polishes every surface, giving the streets and buildings a reflective sheen that feels quietly cinematic. After dark, the lights of the high-rise towers shimmer across the harbor, painting the water with streaks of color that sway with the tide. Vancouver at dusk feels like the city is taking a deep, soft breath, calming itself after a day filled with movement, energy, and life. A lovely travel tip is to explore the city early in the morning, when the air is crisp, the streets are still, and everything feels refreshed and washed clean by the ocean's gentle touch. Vancouver leaves its mark not through grandeur alone, but through a gentle beauty, a welcoming warmth, and a sense of calm that lingers long after you've said goodbye. Canadian Badlands, Alberta. Long before the Canadian Badlands come into view, the landscape begins to flatten in a quiet, almost ceremonial way. The endless sky stretches into a boundless dome of pale blue, and the wind carries a low whisper that tells you you're entering a place where time has carved its own ancient kingdom with patient, deliberate hands. As you draw closer, the familiar earth suddenly drops away into dramatic canyons and stacked cliffs that look as though they were painted stroke by stroke by ancient artists who understood the language of stone. In an instant, the world transforms into a rugged masterpiece. Deep, shadow-filled coulees, hoodoos rising like solemn stone guardians, and wide valleys brushed with shades of ochre, crimson red, dusty beige, and weathered gray. The Canadian Badlands stretch across Alberta with a raw, unfiltered beauty, revealing millions of years of geological history in every exposed layer of rock and sediment. The hoodoos near Drumheller stand like natural monuments sculpted by wind, rain, and erosion. Their strange shapes formed through a patience measured not in centuries, but in entire millennia. These surreal formations give the landscape a skyline so alien and otherworldly that it feels more like wandering across an undiscovered planet than walking through a prairie province. For generations, fossil hunters have considered the Badlands sacred ground, a place where each careful footstep might uncover remnants left behind by creatures that walked the earth long before humans existed. Dinosaur Provincial Park, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, contains one of the richest concentrations of dinosaur fossils anywhere on the planet. Visitors often describe walking through this park as stepping directly into a lost world, as though time has folded back upon itself. Inside the Royal Tyrrell Museum, these prehistoric giants come roaring back to life through towering skeletons and immersive exhibits that fill entire halls with awe. The canyon walls throughout the region reveal tightly packed layers of sediment, stacked like pages in an ancient storybook, each strip of color marking another chapter in Earth's long and restless evolution. The Red Deer River winds through the Badlands like a shimmering silver thread, carving deep cuts into the land and exposing the ancient secrets hidden just beneath the surface. Raptors, coyotes, and prairie dogs roam freely across the terrain, their movements adding subtle life and motion to the otherwise still, desert-like atmosphere. When sunset arrives, the buttes ignite with fiery tones of molten orange and deep bronze, casting dramatic shadows that stretch and dance across the ridges. Early explorers wrote about the eerie silence that settles over the Badlands at dusk, a silence so complete and consuming that you can hear the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. Local legends speak of spirits wandering through the coulees at twilight, their presence felt in sudden gusts of wind that sweep unpredictably across the rocks like whispers from another realm. Campfires crackle softly at night as sparks drift upward, swallowed by a sky bursting with stars that glow in brilliant, tightly packed clusters. With no city lights to compete, the night sky becomes a vast, glittering canvas where the Milky Way stretches across the darkness like a glowing celestial river. The rugged terrain makes even a short hike feel like an expedition into some ancient territory that has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. In summer, thunderstorms roll across the open horizon with cinematic drama, flashing veins of lightning over jagged sandstone peaks. When rain falls, the earth transforms into deep red clay, coating boots and trails with an entirely new texture that adds another layer to the region's already otherworldly appearance. Photographers travel from all over the world to capture the Badlands' dramatic contrasts, vast silences, and raw, unfiltered atmosphere. Over time, the ever-present wind continues shaping and reshaping the stone, carving patterns and contours that shift subtly with each passing season. A great travel tip is to explore the hoodoos at sunrise, when soft light warms their surfaces and the valley remains cool, quiet, and untouched by the day's heat. The Canadian Badlands leave you humbled, standing before a landscape that refuses to be forgotten, a place where history is written not in books, but in stone, waiting patiently for those willing to listen.